So I thought I'd give you a chance to show what you're up to. So it's not my typical opening. So you played F4, huh? Aggressive. Yeah.
Almost the only way I know how to play the position. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the
What
plan.
would you do after knight f6? Or how you develop the pieces there?
D6.
No,
F4, A6.
No, I
A6.
play a6, but I just natural.
Oh,
move is
normally I would
F6.
knight F6 or knight F3. I would answer.
Of course, that's and then I just play this line and I think it's quite odd. You're right, you develop the pieces. You did very nice. Nicely in the opening. B5.
Thank you.
You could start with bishop d3, without, but e5 is good also. So it's same idea. So
I'm concerned about B4. Yeah.
No, bishop, that's good. That's good. So the more normal move is knight d7. They try to play c5. But I thought, okay, I'll play this positional game, which it's a lousy position for black, but I thought maybe I can just play it over and we'll see what happens again.
It's great fun for me.
Yes. You castle, yes, you castle. And I play knight e7. Bishop e3, play knight d7.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you could have started with bishop f2, by the way. Just, to start bringing bishop there, maybe. That's one of the ideas. You play knight e4 here, yes?
Yes.
And I play knight d5, and maybe pawn sacrifice now still, it's an option. Maybe you can find it out. I don't know,
It's just something to think about.
Yeah, but you play queen d2. Okay, I immediately take this bishop because and then I play knight b6, and your white is better, but I was more comfortable because I took off this bishop, and there are no more threats of your bishop appearing here and just, attacking the square. So now I can at least make a castle, and I can,
That makes sense.
stay in the game. So you played...
So bishop f2, 2 moves earlier.
Yeah, exactly, yes. Oh, yeah. Knight b6, and you played...
Queen e2.
Which is very odd
moves,
move, because this. If you go on f2, you go on f2. So this is what queen on e2 doesn't do much. Either you start with c3 or just queen f2, because after queen e2, so I castled, and then he played c3. Yeah, that was the right move, because now my threat was knight d5, g3 and knight b4, just to win the second bishop. The problem is I couldn't play knight d5 here because bishop b5 check. That's a trick. So and bishop b5, a b5, queen takes b5, and
right.
Yes, you take
it back. Loose bishop on b7.
Exactly, lose bishop. So that's why I had to castle, and then after c3, I wasn't sure, what plan to choose. So I just thought I could just wait and just.
That's what it
so
felt
and
like,
I think I found an interesting plan. So you played
a knight fd2, yeah.
Rook fd8.
Yes. Queen f2. Now, I should have just gone there to begin with. Right?
Okay, here is just again. Did you see that your bishop was hanging?
Yes. This did not get played here. Wait,
did you see that?
I saw it move too late. Oh, this was in the
no,
position
but then you have not c5. That's because you attack my bishop.
No, I didn't see that line.
That's interesting. So you attack my bishop now, and then you protect your bishop.
Right.
But also, that I don't know. I wasn't sure that was working for you. It probably I could have just it's not the end of the world. So it's only a check. But this is important. So that's a good tactical resource. So you just it's like a double attack, which includes defense and attack, but technically double attack, because you attack here and defend here. So and create a threat by taking the bishop. So unfortunately, it didn't work. So I made the move. I was tempted to play rook b8, just to prepare to defend the bishop. But then I just thought, oh, no, it's okay. I just play rook c8. Rook c8.
And it was here that I did see a similar line, which is why I
Yes, okay. That's okay. You just moved on. And now I play knight a4.
And rook a1 defend.
Yeah, maybe you could have played b3. So this is... Okay. This is b3, and I thought, I don't know. The problem is I cannot play d5 here.
I thought you could.
Because you play knight f6 check. Take. e takes, and then you win the piece.
Yes,
Just
yes,
again,
yes.
the piece leaves with with check. So I probably had to go back here, which is not the sort of greatest thing, but still maybe that bad, but because you weaken a little bit your position.
B3 would have been much
Yeah,
stronger.
no, because rook b1, then I just I thought, okay, it's time. I take here, I play d5, and now I don't know, maybe, but knight c5 it's not.
Didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. So but after knight d2 c5, at least you have just my position is is breathing. So
Well, here, right, yeah, maybe it would have offered a little resistance, but it seemed to add.
But knight f3, cd4, you took was because they taking was a pawn. My rook,
Guess, yes.
my rook just activated.
Comes
So-
to C2, I don't want
And
that.
I like this position, but it's not that terrible for white because it's it's still hard for me to make an improvement. But the trick is that now
Don't play
the
with
whole
like
idea was
G4.
g4 doesn't work anymore because even if you play g4 f5, I just protect this pawn and there are no threats here, real threats, and you weaken this pawn, and you have to make sure that my game was because my plan is somehow to play b4 and just to attack this. This is your stronghold.
Yes.
I want to make sure that it falls one way or another. So so you played g4 here, yes?
Yep, yes.
Which is that's
That's the bad move.
That's a bad move, and I played rook c7. Just a solid move.
this
Just
is-
to king h1.
And I was asking, at any point was bishop takes b5 an idea
Okay,
here?
knight
yeah?
c5 I played here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Take on b5. I can make an intermediate
That's what
move.
I,
I'm not sure. I
what I was
can
afraid of.
simply exchange. Queen b8, knight c7, queen c7, and material-wise you're okay. You have rook and 2 pawns for bishop and knight. If it's an endgame, it will be winning because 2
Right.
pawns. But we have queens and on the board, and also I have squares for my light pieces. So I think position is pretty bad for you because you have no counterplay. So this is
Makes sense to me.
pushing these pawns. It's a dream. So it's not going to happen. So I'll start doing other things. I probably bring the bishop here. I don't know. There are many options for me. What's important? My knight on e4 will be very just very annoying.
Yeah.
And
Monster.
okay, with pawn on g2, maybe you could hold, but with pawn on g4, this is
Bust.
it's really too weak. So that's why you were right. I saw your hand was there.
I wrote it almost
you
did
looked at
it.
this pawn. So, but then you made the right move. Queen e1. I played queen b6, and now you have to play rook d1. So rook d1, and then a3, and and hold it. So if my knight goes on e4, then you can push it back. So you made a mistake. You played bishop f3 here, just too early because
Big
now
mistake.
I can go before, and now I'm just weakening your stronghold in the center. If you take here, I go with knight on d3, queen is3. I just simply take here, and this knight is very weak now. And eventually we'll exchange it, and it's a3 for instance, then knight c6, and it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't feel good.
because I have strong pawn and you have all these weaknesses.
Yeah,
And then you played f5 here,
which was
f5, and I played knight d3, and that's okay. Lost in
Game
time.
over,
The
yeah.
only move is queen h4 here, but then probably is after rook c8. Then you can play f6. I play bishop f8, but it's an illusion of the attack because you don't have any more
Yeah,
pieces
that
here
bishop,
just to create threats. This pawn is hanging, and everything here is collapsing. So this is it's like in my favorite Sicilian. So that's why just here and I'm going there from there. So it's and it's yeah. But anyway, it was a good game. So just
Thank you very much.
yeah,
What an honor.
you definitely put hard. Thank you.
Thank you.